52 acres for sale north of Billings, Montana, out here in Big Sky Country, Montana. So my name is Miles McLaughlin here at Wilco Land. What I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to break down this property. I'm going to talk about a lot of common questions. I'm going to teach you how you can go access the property on your own, talk about some of the selling points, who the target audience is, and show you guys what this looks like on satellite imagery, Onyx maps, and things like that. So getting started with a quick disclaimer here. This isn't legal advice. It's not real estate advice. This is me simply sharing my thoughts and opinions on the property with you through my own due diligence and my experience in the industry. I hope you find this video educational and very informative. There's so much we can learn about a property from the comfort of our home without even ever going to it. So these are some photos our photographer got. Really good imagery. I'm going to dive right into the property here. And a big thing I will talk about in a minute is access to this property for you. But first, touching on these photos, awesome long range views. I know the camera doesn't capture it the way it should, but this is going to be wide open spaces. You've got three sides of the property are surrounded by BLM land. So you've got 2,000 plus acres of BLM land in your backyard for hunting, off-roading, things like that. So what are some selling points of a property like this? Why are people buying land like this? Number one, first and foremost, we believe in land as an investment. At the price point we're offering this property, you're not going to find a better 52-acre deal in the state of Montana, right? This close to Billings and places like that. So number two, people want a homestead. People want to go out here. They want a homestead. Maybe they want to build something out in the country. Maybe they have a small farming operation. They want to run some cattle. And there's a lot of people that buy land from us just to go camping, just to use it for recreational purposes. Maybe it's your own dirt bike park. Maybe it's a campsite, right? Gazing under the stars at nighttime. So maybe you put a yurt up out here. So there's so much that's happening in the world right now. Technology is changing things so rapidly. The mobility of the world's increasing, right? So we really believe in these assets. We think they're really forward-thinking land investments. And you can take your camper out here, put some yurts up, go hunting on the property, right? There's so much you can do with a piece of land. Not only is it a long-term tangible land investment, but you can use it, right? For whatever you want to do. There's no zoning out here on this property. So properties like this are super popular here. There's just not a lot of restrictions that are going to be imposed to what a person can and cannot do on this property. So let's dive into access. We've talked about the property a little bit. Again, there's no zoning restrictions on the property. You're going to be out here kind of wild and free in Big Sky Country, just north of Billings, Montana. I want to teach you how you can use GPS coordinates to find this property, let's say on Google Earth satellite imagery. You can, number one, you can download the link off Google right here, and you can open that up. And this is what the property looks like on satellite imagery. Access is going to come in from the west over here off Hoskins. I believe it's Hoskins Basin Road. Here's a 2-track. This goes through BLM land. I'll show you guys a plat map too, because it is documented access. That goes right into the corner of the property. There's a 30-foot easement right here for this guy to get to his property and us to get down to our property. Here's our 52-acre tract of land. Again, everything around it's going to be BLM land. Okay, so it is really easy to access. So if I zoom out a little bit, you've got Billings, Montana down here. You head up north on Highway 97, and you're going to shoot over on this road right here. Look for a name of it. It's Crooked Creek Road. There's a gun range right here, a shooting range. You're going to head up Crooked Creek Road. That's going to take you up to Hoskins Basin Road. And then you're going to turn right or head east on this 2-track through BLM land. And that's how you're going to access this 52-acre. And we've got some good photos showing the road to the property. Looking through here, you can see that 2-track's really drivable. So that should be easy to navigate across, and that'll bring you right to our property. So that's what that looks like here, kind of a bird's eye view. You can see there's a speedway right here. That's pretty cool. Like I said, one of the target audience things is you might even use this property for storage. Maybe you've got some toys like this. Maybe you need some space to spread out, right? This 52 acres is going to provide that. Then you've got 17-mile shooting area. Okay, so you've got all that really close to your property, adding to some value, some things to do in the area. And again, you're just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Billings, Montana down here. I'll give you guys a bird's eye view of where the property is located. Again, all I'm doing is using the GPS coordinates from our website, and I'm copying and pasting those here in Google Maps. Right here is Billings, Montana. You've got Roundup, you've got Judith Gap. There's some really good hunting in the nearby regions. You got Custer National Forest down here to the south. Then you head a little further west, you get into Livingston and Bozeman, Montana. So here's where we're at, not too far off I-90, up Highway 87. Again, you're going to take Crooked River Ranch Road, up the Hoskin Basin, head over on that BLM road. What I want to show you too is the certificate of a survey here. So this property has been mapped out. You should see the corner markers in the property when you're out there. We saw some fencing on the property as well. So some of the property might be fenced. I personally have not been to this property. I'd have to go look at some of my photographer's notes to see what he said about the fencing. But again, here's that documented BLM road that we're talking about. So here's Hoskins Basin Road. You can see that right here. Here's the entry to our property right here. It should be marked off because it is BLM land. Typically, they do have some good markers on their properties. The government does. So you'd go, this is an easement here on Hoskins Basin Road. And then here's an existing 2-track trail providing access per BLM's casual use policy. Okay, so you do have access on this 2-track. That brings you down over to track 2. This is our 52-acre property. Again, there is a 30-foot wide easement right here that benefits tract 1. So right here in the corner of your property, that BLM 2-track essentially gets to the top corner. And in all reality, it looks like it actually connects kind of towards the top, but there is a 30-foot easement. So the guy who owns 105 acres to the north of you does have access to his property from this BLM road as well. So those are the 2 property owners that are using this 2-track, BLM 2-track to access tract 2 and tract 1. Tract 2 is the property we're selling. All corners should be marked. You can see that here on the survey. So this has a rebar aluminum cap set. So again, all 4 corners are marked. This property has been surveyed. You should be able to identify the corners when you're out there walking the property. Now that leads me on to my favorite land viewing app, Onyx Hunt. I do have the property pulled up here on Onyx Maps. You can see here's Highway 87 right here to your right. Here's Crooked River Ranch Road. You'd head up Hoskins Basin. And if I zoom in, you can see that 2-track again right here. You're going to head across BLM land per that plat map. And that's going to basically bring you to the corner of our property here. And then you've got this full 52-acre spread. As I zoom out, you can see that our land, 1, 2, 3 sides of our property is adjacent to over 2,000 acres of BLM land, which is a really big selling point for a lot of folks too. So this is going to be my favorite app to use for land viewings. All I'm doing is, again, plugging these GPS coordinates in. It's going to bring me down here to the property. So that really sums up this 52-acre piece of land. It's one of my favorite land investments we have on the website right now. I do have a dozen other properties out here in Montana that you can take a peek at. If you're in the market for something in the state of Montana or even Wyoming, hop on our website. We've got property all over the United States. We've got stuff from Alaska to Utah, Wyoming, Montana. Since this video is about a property in Montana, I will show you what we do have available in Montana. Make sure to reach out to me or our sales team if you have interest in something else on the website. So here's all of our Montana listings. We've got some stuff pretty close to this 52-acre down here in Hardin, Montana, and Bighorn Country. And then we've got some stuff out in Anaconda, right? You can see just a handful of different types of land investments out here in Montana. So thanks for tuning in. Give me a call, send me a text if you have questions. You can reach us here at 605-299-5553. What we do is we specialize in land. Thanks for tuning in.